Well, hello there. This is a February 4th, 2026 update, and I'm hoping that this is one of those videos that I will put together with the final product down the road of what this cut garden area is going to be, because it will be a massive before and after if that's the case. So I'm kind of hoping I can be organized enough that I can put it into my computer in a way that I can get my hands on it again, because sometimes I got other stuff with the books keeps me organized enough, and I kind of just want to play with these videos. But this was filled with hydrangeas and lilacs and different things that could handle the shade, because we had trees in the back that were too close to our house and they were unsafe, so we had to take them down. And so it's quite changed the look of our backyard. We still have lots of trees, and we only took them down because they were leaning towards our house, and it turned out to be a really good thing because we had a really big windstorm after 3 intense rainstorms. They actually had a weird name for them. Atmospheric rivers. That's how much rain they were. When you're in Oregon and they have to tell you a fancy way of saying there's lots and lots of water, then it was a lot of water. So I've started to take this bed on again, and it's been really refreshing to actually take a bed that was always the same and kind of came back with the same flowers every year, and turn it into something fresh again. So those little bedraggled greens in the corner are carpet of snow. I planted them hoping they would get a little root and come on this spring early. So we'll fingers crossed on those. All the places where the flags are is places where I've planted tulips or bulbs. I'm notorious at replanting things in the same exact spot. So I do have the ones that the squirrels or these guys have dug up are right here on top. They have little tiny greens coming out, so I know that we're getting close to seeing them, which will be when I get to take the flags out, which will be nice. I moved a Shasta daisy, and around the back side of that I planted echinacea, rooted echinacea, and I'm hoping to have like 4 or 5 bushes of that on the back side here. I want to plant probably a couple of roses, and then also some delphinium, and I'll probably fill in with all kinds of like snapdragons and zinnias and annual cut flowers. But the goal is to make this super thick with come again perennials that we can make into bouquets. It's just my thing to make these big and lush. I would like it to have a tall and a mid and a low mixed in there, and it all has to be full sun, and it will wrap around the corner. My corner is still a hot mess. In some ways I'm behind in my gardening, which I don't like to think that way, because when you're behind in your gardening, then it feels like you have to play catch up, but gardens aren't really for playing catch up. They're just going to be an always. So I did see an artisan man on an interview, and he said that he would do a writer sprint or a painting sprint, whatever his craft he was doing, and then he would go outside and do a 20-minute or a 30-minute chore for that he delighted in for his garden, and that's how he did it. And I kind of like that idea. I don't know if I can do it, but that's what I did. I got my rider clothes on, I put my garden boots on and this, and you can see I'm like dressed for my little meeting, and I'm going to do a couple things, which I'm going to take you along the journey for. did it. I got first round of cleaning done, and it feels so good. And it didn't take me a half an hour, it was more like an hour. But I ruined a good fingernail polish, and I got grubby. These are important things. I got to rescue a whole pot of parsley. I thought that wouldn't winter over, but it has. So I kind of tended it, and I even managed to collect my eggs. That's what these are. So they're starting to lay again. We always have a few in the winter. Look how grubby and dirty those are, like everything else. Can you even see without dumping that in there? And my Easter egg started up again. Look at that color compared to the, oh, these are dirty, but you'll see what I mean. Brown. Love a good colored egg basket. Talk about color, like that's a, I should go figure out how to mix that color, right? Make it into a paint thing. Very nice. Very nice. Might sit out here. When I was out here, I wore this to protect my clothes because I wore nice clothes. I wish I could get paid for how many times I ruined a good outfit, but this was all the way up to 100 when the sun was on it, and I was cooking. It was actually kind of nice. It's nice to be cooking on February the 4th, 2026. My greenhouse is ready. I got lots of empty pots, that's for sure. I have to start thinking of what can come out this early. That would be pretty fun. Okay, back to work.
It's been really fun to go back and watch all my older YouTube garden videos and see all the befores and all the afters. It's like every spring, my garden is a canvas, a blank canvas, a brown canvas, sometimes with lots of change coming if I'm going to move a flower bed or change something up. But it's really, really fun to go back and see sometimes you don't have the encouragement of recognizing that sometimes good repeated is displayed, like the little daily chores that you do over time do show up. And sometimes it's like watching your kids grow, where you need the wall to measure them to see how much exactly they've grown. You just know that they have. So this particular garden is my mom's memorial garden, which was really fun, a beautiful piece of my grief when I lost my mom in 2019, and I had a bunch of plants from her and different things. And it's been wonderful to come here and see the updates that I did on that. But this year, with the logging that we did in the backyard, there's even more change coming here. So I'm resetting it. And all of these are videos of my clover. I planted red clover through the belly of this little gulch that's here. It's a little bit more exposed with the fence line out and the trees gone that were there before we expanded it's our property. We just expanded our fence line. It's where we had kept our little kids in, but now we don't have to do that, so we can get on the other side of this and open up our property a little bit. So these befores are so drab and so brown, you can't tell where the flower bed's going to be, and there's not even grass in all the places there's going to be grass. And when you look at my garden, you can see the things that reflect an artist's eye. And oh my gosh, does that make my soul feel good? Because you know what? I really am a creative and an artist, and I'm sure some of you guys are too. And if you're not, then but you're gardening, you sort of are, even if you're a precision person who likes to plant things perfectly in rows. And I mean, there's some amazing skill and talent with that kind of thing too. But here we are, we're in the spring, it's blank canvas time. This is February 4th, and when I'm actually editing this, it's a couple months down the road because I've been pretty slow. So to see the growth and the change already is just refreshing. It's an inflow, and it's part of the reason why I want to do it. But it does make me want to go a little slower and see the nooks and the cranny. One of the things that they do when you're painting or you're drawing is they cut out a little square, like a peekaboo viewfinder, where you can actually turn it until you can find the perfect kind of setting, or you can look at your colors in just one area. It like blocks everything out so you can kind of see where the art is. Like this little picture right here from last year. And when I think of my garden right now in this time, I think of it in regards to that, where you can kind of look in at little areas and do little touches here and there to make the garden your own, to give it that little sense of personality and beauty. And I just feel like doing that more. And I think that before, when I was just doing garden YouTubes, garden tours, it had a rhythm to it that I found to be very beautiful and very refreshing to go back and look at. But I really am seeing the layers of artist and creative and design and beauty in there, and not giving the flowers all the credit, like looking at the layout and the beauty. There's so many things in here that have potential, and every year it's fresh potential. And I think that's a good reminder for me, even in the grind of creating books and painting and all that. Like, there's potential, there's always room for more, and the little bits over and over stack up and they turn into something, and it's kind of a beautiful thing. So I hope you savor all of the before that's here, where it's mulch and brown and drab, and the beauty of the flowers themselves hasn't wakened up yet. The sun is coming out, so every day is a little different. Oh, this can't wait to show you the next video. All of this has changed so much already. And I do have a little treat at the end of this video. There's baby puppies. We have puppies on the ground here. We raise chocolate labs, and there's all kinds of work and play that goes into that. And so you'll be seeing it, the layers of that canvas unfold. But for now, enjoy this before.
All of that, and I almost forgot to do what I came out to do, which was plant some pansy seeds. I'm pretty sure these are perennial, and I'm pretty sure they can handle a frost, not because it says on the back of the plant, but because I've done it before. Yeah, indoors late winter or early spring. Barely cover seeds with fine soil. Water with a mist. Yeah, so these will, you want to get something in the ground early, get yourself some pansies, and this is a pansy pot anyways. So I'm going to add some more to it. I'm going to plant them all. Why not? Come on in. Come on, spring. Should we stick this in here? It won't last forever, but it'll be pretty while it does. We need a little bit bigger stick. Let's see if I can. Yeah. Some bark mulch. That's one touch until it fades out. Sun on my face.
Pruning up the raspberries was one of those projects that I named to do on a quick break from my editing, and I got this new tool, which is like a handheld little chainsaw, and it's been wonderful to work with. And here's an update on that memorial garden. It's already starting to take shape. All those flags are where bulbs are going to come up. I've been really enjoying these English daisies this year, and I'm going to plant a whole border hedge of those around the outline of my mother's memorial garden. I've been appreciating the beautiful anemones, and I actually planted ranunculuses for the first time in a long time. I don't know where they've been all my life, and I can tell you what is going to get into my garden for next year. Next spring, we will definitely be planting more of those. And I just keep having to update this red clover because it's so green and vivid during this early spring. It's been green medicine to me. It's been filling my soul. Some of these videos are actually for my husband and I to share together because, we've lived here since 2001, January, and so we've got quite a few years invested into this place. And he's a lot of the muscle behind the maintenance and he likes to do the yard chores, and I like to do the design and the actual garden work. So between the two of us, we get it done. And we're 30 years happy and healthy, headed into 31. So it's very fun for him also to look back and see the progress. And this is his little area. He has to dig up on the left. There's an entire pathway of gravel, and he has to dig that out because we don't need that path in the middle of the yard anymore because we moved the trees. So that in a future video very soon probably will be green grass that he has to mow or that he chooses to mow. So of course it's daffodil and paper white season, and the Daphne smells so good. I'm going to be changing the back of the house there quite a bit this year, so we have to catch some of the layers. And do you see my netting? I got some seeds planted and they're coming up. That is the big patch of lemon balm. Oh my goodness, we got to get in there and work on that. That'll take some time. Water levels have been high. It's been a very wet year, but not a lot of snowpack and all of that. So it's definitely interesting that way. Of course, watching my tulips come on, they are always such a promise of spring. And again, the thing I was saying before about good done repeatedly is displayed. I planted those tulip bulbs like 4 years ago, and sometimes I add a couple new ones, but they keep coming back and giving, and I'm just so grateful. And I think that we all have different things. There's the after. See the after of the blueberries? I mean, blueberries and raspberries, yeah. I think I'm going to plant more blueberries too. Wood chips. I think I distracted myself from whatever I was talking about before. But this is a pruning area. I kind of delayed some of my pruning last year for different reasons, and so I feel like I'm doing double the pruning this year. But that little handheld chainsaw is my new secret weapon. We have a laurel hedge that we planted for privacy. You probably hear in my videos, there's a lot of street noise. We live on a major highway, and the noise of it is more these days because a few years ago we lost a ton of our sound barrier in a deep freeze. It was a wet where it covered everything with ice and then froze, and so everything after it rained, so it was super heavy, so everything, branches broke everywhere, trees went down everywhere, power lines went down. So that's more red clover. So I went through and planted a second planting of the red clover seeds because I really want what I'm calling the Gult to just be one big carpet of red. Won't that be amazing? But look at it's birthday season. Does anybody else say happy birthday to their seedlings? Oh, I just want to enjoy it all. Okay, puppies are coming. Oh, I put this little bit in here because I do eBay and I think that the jewelry is art. And I've been talking about the canvas and the palette, and this is 1928 vintage jewelry, and I just think it's lovely. Do you? Thanks for coming back for another tour, and I hope you can appreciate the design and the art of it all. I still don't know 100% of what I'm going to be talking about or saying, but I am finding the beauty in the little bit, and I'll see you next time.